The destruction of Prizepicks continues with a nice little 4 power here, 5 into 5th because of my limits, but I also placed this one on Tuesday back before I was limited. I was allowed to put $100 per play. Now I'm only allowed to play $100 per day, but this was from Tuesday. Hit a nice Garrett Wilson stack with Trevor and then Dak and Lamb, and this was one I played last night with my limits of $5, or I'm allowed to pay 20 slips basically of $5, $100 per day, and this was a nice Dak, CeeDee Lamb again, and then Kirby Joseph on defense, and then Brandon Cooks and Sam Laporta rush plus receiving touchdown. We have been on an absolute tear recently. I could show you the slips from the other night too, where we got the beautiful 6 for 6 here, as well as a 5-1 here, and another 6 for 6 here. So honestly, Prizepicks is kind of getting destroyed recently. In the past 3 days, the Discord is up 47.2 units. Unfortunately, because of my limits, I don't get to get the best benefits of that, but everyone else in the Discord gets to eat. We are up 250 units across Prizepicks and Underdog in under 6 weeks. We still have a bunch of NFL slips to settle tonight, and it's honestly amazing to see the success we have. You can see Sibd here is just being blessed, 150 into 5.9k in 2 months. So it does feel very good to be blessing people up, especially for the new year. We're going to be going hard. If you do want to cash with us in 2024 and potentially go up 250 units in 6 weeks, so this was exactly what it means. $5 would have turned into $1,260. If you want to learn how to do that and get my exact picks that I sent, just click the WAP link in the description. You're going to have 2 options, either Prizepicks or Prizepicks plus Underdog. And if you don't have Underdog already and you do want a free trial of the Discord, you could just sign up to Underdog using our affiliate link, OddsJuice. Deposit up to $100 for the deposit match. I recommend doing all of it. It's a free $100. Then just email us at info@oddsjuiceinc.com, a screenshot if you're using the OddsJuice code, as well as your transaction history. If you want to see the sheet, by the way, this is just the running profits of the Discord. It's publicly tracked. I have nothing to hide. Discord profits, you could see every single day since it has started on November 20th, as well as every single week. So you can see there's even a negative week. I'm not afraid to hide it. We lost 35 units in 1 week. Doesn't matter, we bounced right back and got it all back. And now this week we're doing it all over again. As for the picks from last night's video, this was one of them. I said the Wyoming stack, the under was the play. And as you can see, it clearly was. Went with Peasley and Asante on the unders. The reasoning for this one was the lines were set too high. And remember, Peasley was set like 10 to 12 yards higher than the sportsbooks. And you could see how much it won by, 10 to 12 yards, right? Same with Asante. I believe some sportsbooks even have a 26, 26 and a half. And we only won by 6 yards. You see how every yard matters? Especially if you're getting like 10 to 12 yards, you have to be grabbing the unders in comparison to other sportsbooks. Now this one here should have also hit. This was basically the halftime results. So Carson Beck had 203 passing yards and Dominic had 38 receiving yards. Beck sat out the whole second half. Dominic, I believe maybe he played a bit, but then he didn't play the rest of the game. So that is why they did not cash together. They were blowing out FSU. I think it was up 50 points in the half. So they didn't get to play together. That's why Beck got rebooted. He didn't play the whole second half. And like I said, maybe Dominic played a bit of the second half, so he didn't get the reboot. Very unfortunate on that. That should have been a perfect slip. But up here, we also threw in Kobe White and DeMar DeRozan. Under 5.5 assists on Kobe White. Under 24.5 on DeMar DeRozan. And they both hit together. So 4 in 1 day, that should have been a 6-0. But we move. It was a pretty good day. Let's get into the picks. I have some NFL and some NBA. What we're going to do is 1 NFL stack, 1 NBA stack, and then 2 positive expected value picks. So we're going to start off with the first one. If you don't know what a stack is, it's essentially taking 2 players from the same team who are correlated, essentially meaning they're going to go in the same direction. So the first pick we're going to go with is Jordan Love over 22.5 pass completions. And the best thing that goes with pass completions, of course, is receptions. So we're going to grab Dubes on the over receptions here, over 3.5 receptions. That is going to be the stack. Let's get into why this is a good stack on Prop.Cash. Jordan Love is set at 23.5 on one sportsbook, so BetMGM, but the other ones have insane juice towards that over 22.5. So DraftKings, FanDuel, and Caesars. Caesars has them all the way up to minus 148. If you have no idea what that means because you don't play sports books and you don't know what American odds are, that essentially means that Caesars is projecting that Jordan Love will go over this line 55.38% of the time if you're to simulate it over millions of games. Essentially, the juice is towards the over, so the over 22.5 is the good play. We don't get him at 23.5 on Prizepicks. You can see we have him at 22.5. Now, why are we going with Dubes? Very similar reason. He also has juice towards that over 3.5. Again, very high, minus 140, minus 137, minus 145. To translate that line, it essentially means 56% likeliness for Dupes to go over. So not only are these positive expected value plays on their own, because they're hitting above that 54% threshold for 6 flexes, they are also correlated. Of course, as Jordan Love is throwing 23 completions, it's very likely that Dubes is catching most of those. So it's an easy match if Love is dropping 23 completions. Dubes is easily going to get his 4. That's the idea. It's not going to happen every time, but it's going to happen more likely than not. And especially, we're choosing the correct direction because we saw the juice is on the over. Very simple stack there. NFL is pretty much the easiest sport to bet on. So that is exactly what we're going to be doing there. For the NBA, we're going to go over to Spencer Dinwiddie and grab his under 7 assists. Now, this is a play I flagged on OddsJuice on the dashboard. You can see Dinwiddie is actually set at 6.5 on the sportsbooks, and they're basically saying there's a 48.54% chance that he goes under that 6.5 assists. We're not getting him at 6.5, we're getting him at 7. So you might not think it's a difference. 0.5 is a massive difference in the long run. So that is why we're going with the under 7 assists. The over 7 assists would not be the play, again, because the sportsbook have him at 6.5. You could check this on props.cash a little bit closer. So one sportsbook actually has him at 7.5, it's FanDuel. The rest you can see 6.5, juice towards that over, of course, but we're getting him at 7. In general, he has only went over this 46% of the time, so we do have that edge on our side. And they are playing away tonight against OKC. You can see Spencer Dinwiddie actually does play better at home in terms of the assist prop. I mean, it's not much data to go off of. It's only 12 games. But in general, I'm not too concerned with the away split. What I like better about this game is actually that spread at -7.5. It's not a crazy blowout potential, but it's pretty decent. If the Thunder starts rolling, you're going to see Spencer Dinwiddie get benched in the fourth quarter. And of course, he's not going to clear that 7 assists. Now, who are we going to be matching Spencer Dinwiddie at? We're going to go with Claxton on the under 11.5 points. It's not a crazy pick on its own, but I do like it with the stack with Dinwiddie. Together, these guys have cleared about 71% of the times this season. We could still take a look at Claxton's 11.5 here. He has only cleared this 36% of the time on the over. His away splits are slightly better at 4 out of 10 times he cleared the over 11.5. But again, I'm not too concerned with these splits. I'm mostly just liking this general matchup against OKC. You can see they're 11th in points allowed and 19th in assists allowed. It's nothing crazy, but they do have solid defense. And again, there is that blowout potential at that -7.5. So that is going to be the stacks. NFL stack and NBA stack. And we'll get into two general positive expected value picks that I did notice. The first one is going to be Desmond Bane on the over 29.5 points plus rebounds. I'm absolutely loving this pick. I really like it. We'll start taking a look at Desmond Bane here. He is set at 29.5 on Prizepicks. PointsBet has him at 30.5, so 1 point higher. And then DraftKings has heavy juice towards that over 29.5. And every other sportsbook's kind of general consensus that it's about an even line. We have him flagged with juice towards the over at -123, which essentially translates to 55.16% of the time he is going to go over this prop. So the over is definitely the play, but let's take a look at more splits. He has cleared this 17 out of 30 times this season. And let's check him with Marcus Smart. It's been 14 games, cleared it at least 7 times, so 50%, pretty decent there. And then Ja Morant, you might think it changes, but no, he has hit this 3 out of 5 times, or 60%. On top of that, they are playing at home, where he has cleared this 54% of the time. And Sacramento defense is 21st and 19th in points and rebounds allowed, respectively. So it's a pretty good offensive spot for the Grizzlies here. But the main reason I'm liking this is, let's just take a look at his game logs in the recent games, checking how many minutes he got. So unless there's a blowout like this game here, 105 to 142, he played 25 minutes there. And then this game here, 116 to 97, not quite a blowout, but might have been. I didn't really look into it fully, but he has been averaging pretty much over those 30-minute marks. And we're going to look on props.cash how it looks when he gets these 30-minute games. 36 here, 34, 34, 26 again in a 20-point game. Let's take a look at how this actually impacts him when he's getting these minutes. And like I said, the spread is tight at that -1. So these minutes are going to definitely be up for Desmond Bane tonight. So with at least 30 minutes, he has cleared this 64% of the time this season. And we could check at 36 minutes, where I'm kind of projecting him to play at least 34-ish, right? The game is tight. They're going to go down to the wire. At 34 minutes, it's still 64% of the time. But if we pop that up one last time to 36 minutes, you can see he has cleared this 75% of the time. Great pick here on Desmond Bane over 29.5 points plus rebounds. Now, before we get into this last pick, I do want to say this is the last video of 2023. Of course, it has been a crazy run. I started this channel over in March, and we are continuously growing. Especially recently, the support has been insane. The channel is doing very well, and I appreciate every one of you that come and watch these videos. I do put a lot of work and effort into getting the right picks for you. I know they're not always going to hit, guys, but trust me, I've showed time and time again I know what I'm doing and I know how to win. So I love passing that down to you. I'm already limited on my account. I'm literally putting these picks out for you guys. Pretty much no benefit to me because I'm only allowed to put like $5 on these plays. So I don't normally ask for likes, but if you have been appreciating these videos recently, can we get this video to 100 likes to end off 2023 on a bang? I'm going to be back here in 2024, absolutely pumping out the daily videos once again, and maybe even some more videos getting into bankroll management and more concepts around those topics. Without further ado, let's get into this last pick, and we are looking at Wagner on the under 4.5 assists. He's only cleared this 35% of the times this season. Very measly, not looking good. And they are up against Phoenix, who are 9th in assists allowed, but the main reason I'm liking this is honestly just the juice. PointsBet has him flat, but FanDuel has his heavy juice towards that under 4.5. DraftKings, Caesars, and BetMGM have less juice. Again, It's another pick we flagged on OddsJuice here at -128 or 56.14% that he goes under 4.5 assists. The last thing to look at for that Orlando game is just a spread here at -6. Nothing crazy, but the Suns are at home. Let's see if Devin Booker and Durant could take it home right away so that the Orlando starters get benched and this under cashes more easily. So under 4.5 assists on Wagner here. This is going to be the last slip of 2023.